right, you guys, welcome back to Runtpack Goes Planewalking, episode 30.1. It's a recap.
Heyo.
Let's get into it. So, Mason, take us on this journey. Tell me where we started, where we've been.
Yes, so
Walk me
welcome
through
everyone. I'm Mason. I'm your dungeon master on this wacky, wild ride. So, we're going to start us off with some characters here. Yeah, I know you enjoyed that. I know you did.
Oh God.
All right, so we are a Dungeons & Dragons podcast, and the theme of our current campaign is plane walking. That includes sort of spatial travel. It is in our title. It is in our title. That's nice.
Yeah.
So that you would think that involves a lot of plane traveling, spacewalking,
dimensions shifting. Some of them are good. Some of them are evil. Most of them are real, morally gray, just like planet Earth.
The beginning of our adventure, we started with 4 player characters.
Woo-hoo!
Included in the 4 was Jaya, played by our friend Annette. Jaya is a GIF gunslinger. A GIF is sort of like a hippo person. These things are really cool. They've got this like sort of militaristic background. So Jaya is an old man, and he's currently looking for his family. And we think he has dementia, right?
Oh, there's no think about it. I'm certain. I feel he has dementia.
Good, excellent. Also, we have Hire Valea, played by our friend Carter. Now, Hire is a small blue kobold. Kobold, like this sort of tiny dragonkin.
It's like
Hire
a
is
thing.
Yeah, like a little lizard.
Like a
Hire is a cleric who worships Ethera, who is the goddess of a small plane that he comes from called the Mundane Plane. Okay, so the other players that we have up are currently with us, so I'd like to start us off with Dulam. Dulam, take it away.
Oh, Dulam is a small autognome from Agnes. So the sorcerer with a lot of rust.
Rusty boy. Little robot guy. He's a little robot guy.
Currently he's coming to grip with getting emotions.
It's hard. It's not easy for such a tiny robot.
And other evil robots are out to kill it.
That's so sad. No, I'll never let that happen. Hello, perfect segue. Orpheus, am a knight from the afterlife plane of Valhalla. Yes, I did die once, long ago. I've lived as a ghost knight, and now I've been trapped inside the body of a frail human woman, an artificer, and I'm learning how to use her, gadgets, gizmos, etc. to keep kicking ass, protect Dulam and all my other friends because they need my protecting.
All right, so
also,
that's basically our first cast of character. Hello.
Also, of course, return my beautiful Queen Riddicy to continue fighting at her side. Except she doesn't want me anymore.
Our 4 heroes all begin in the material plane, this sort of being regular, good old-fashioned Earth, having all been spit out of a large portal, each from different locations. Several dozen other creatures are also spit out from different planes, different universes, different planets, all over. So we have Jaya, Hire, Dulam, and Orpheus spat out of this portal into a small farming village called Brightbank. Now, Brightbank is pretty simple, but the leader of Brightbank, a religious guy, Father Luchase, it's a big name, gotta hold on to that one for later, saw 2 of these creatures that all appeared through a magic portal in the middle of this small town.
He chased us out of town for being from different planes, kicked us out. Well, we met some friends while we were there. Malagus, who's like this really greasy human guy, who is Orpheus's brother, or the brother of Orpheus's body, and a tiefling named Vinny, who's just sort of a dude.
Vinny from Waterdeep.
He's from Waterdeep.
He's a tiefling, a red tiefling. Very nice. Whoa.
Except, imagine a red tiefling who's not hot, and, that's Vinny. And I know you might not have thought that was possible, but Vinny's repugnant.
It's very important to the character. Now, the entire group is whisked out of the city of Brightbank and sort of have to slum it up in the nearby forest, meeting some unusual creatures along the way, getting in some fights, and eventually they make their way back to the city to push their way back through the very portal that shoved them out So a siege ensues. The group pushes through, and in sort of a twisted turn of events, they grab Father Luces, the leader of this village, and pull him right through the great portal into the unknown. This swirling, sweeping portal pulls the group of them, including Malagus and Venny, some newfound friends, to a small sort of city in the middle of a very small dimension called Circad. Now, in Circad, this, again, very small city, the group finally gets their bearings again, puts some chains on Father Luces, and sort of explores around. It is here that they meet up with a few more people. Some sort of larger figures in the city include a wizard named Zavrix, who holds the only key to exiting the city. A planar wizard, in fact, who basically is the only one allowing people in or out of this little Circad dimension.
We also met the Lady of Pain, who's the leader of Zircad. Very just, maybe cruel, certainly lawful. I don't know what good. Did a bunch of jobs for her, because we like women in power.
And it's also here that during the great sort of investigation, I like to think of it as detective work that Orpheus has been doing to find out what's going on with their body.
What's going on?
We then meet a shopkeep named Samir Arvalus. Now, Samir is a great guy. We'll touch on him in just a moment. But with Samir comes our next player character. That's right, our 5th player joining us in Circad. This is Demos, who is played by our lovely friend Xavier. Now, Demos is sort of a chimera, right?
He's got a lizard head. Well, dragon head, whatever. Dragons are lizards, and if you don't have wings, it's a lizard. Lizard head, goat legs, lion's body, bipedal, and lion paws. Big ol' lion paws that cast the most evil spells you've ever seen.
So Demos, our chimera, is a wizard who comes from the Plane of Kings, a dimension that had no magic. So he very recently learned what magic was, having been spit out and meeting Samir, the shopkeep. Now, Demos spent about a half a year working with Samir in his shop as sort of like an apprentice and shopkeep. And the two of them got to know each other pretty well over that time. So the group
Samir is Demos' dad now. I don't understand how that happens with 2 adult men, but Demos calls Samir dad. Samir, of course, being a 25-year-old golem.
Yes, so, see, that's actually, you got to go back and really watch it, watch our episodes, because it's a big reveal that Samir's a golem, man. Really big. The fans went crazy for that one. He's a clay golem, so made out of clay.
All clay? Oh, man. Was that something? Was that?
Yeah.
Now then,
He's also a bird.
In Circad. So the group does odd jobs for the Lady of Pain and earns some money along the way. And sort of in the middle of this figure that they kidnapped from the material plane, Father Luces, sort of through the power of his god, stages a siege on the city, inviting in some sort of religious mercenaries from the material plane to, hurl catapults, throw ballistas, and kill a lot of people in this town.
It was fucked up. People died.
Now, the group fought him off well, and Father Luces was punished pretty accordingly by the Lady of Pain.
We picked up a straggler that was Tick, a child soldier Father Luces had hired, who knew higher as they came from the same plane.
And so then, for their bravery in defending the city against Father Luces' attack, the Lady of Pain granted the group a transportation cube, which allowed them to traverse the plains. With this, the group immediately decides to go to Waterdeep, home of Vinny, the red tiefling.
We need to shrug that guy off somewhere.
So the group arrives to Waterdeep, back on the material plane, a large, beautiful port town, quite massive. I'm putting you in the mind of an old-fashioned New York, and immediately dumps Vinny to the wayside.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ugly.
Here, the group gets into all sorts of mischief around the town, finally let loose in a real city. Many more people are also around here that the group has run into. For example, Demos, our chimera friend, had found a member of his royal court from the Plane of Kings, his old, effectively his instructor.
Volker. He's also a lizard. There's a fucking lot of reptiles here. This one's actually a lizard folk, though.
Now, Demos does also call this guy dad, so that's 2 dads for those counting.
2?
Demos has. Two dads. Now,
Fucking greedy. How many of the dads do any of the rest of us have, Mason?
none dads, actually.
None. Zero. Ghosts don't get dads. Robots don't get dads. Hire
Speaking
has
of
a mom.
robots,
Whatever.
Speaking of robots, in the town of Waterdeep, Dulam finds solace in a autonome that I suppose is the same make and model of Dulam itself. A professor of autonomes, a fellow named Dr. Him. Dulam and Dr. Him hit it up, have a nice time, really enjoy each other's company, right? You know, you're sort of meant to be as these two guys get together.
So cool.
But the group finds they are run out of money again. I don't know where you guys spend all your shit. It really just disappears.
Don't get a lot to spend, really.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I consistently blow it on something before it ever enters my inventory.
and so then the group travels to a nearby dungeon outside of Waterdeep to basically earn some money, do some odd jobs, collect whatever they can. They
and
spend some
most
time...
importantly, to find Hire's brother, Monty, who has supposedly gone missing inside of this dungeon.
Yes, yeah. And so spending some time in the dungeon, several days, as I imagine, nearly a week of underground time. The group finally completes enough of these smaller quests and eventually finds Hire's brother Monty. Now, Monty is also a kobold, a yellow kobold, but something is wrong with Monty. As you guys find him, he is a zombie. Now, Monty is not necessarily a violent zombie, just sort of amiss and confused all the time. Great description. And so the group sort of kidnaps him. Drags him back to what I'm effectively calling daycare, which now consists of Tick, the small Kenku girl that you guys got, and now Monty.
Should include Malagus.
Yeah, Malagus is functionally
Malagus is
daycare.
DPS. Malagus does damage, I promise.
Malagus doesn't do shit. Malagus is greasy, that's what he is.
So with Monty rediscovered, the group sets up a deal with a nearby priest to heal Monty, but it requires quite a bit of money, which the group does not have. So more fundraking.
Fundraising. So we did a bikini car wash, right? I think.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't think you guys have gotten a beach episode yet. It's sort of sad.
Fuck.
So then I guess you guys decided you wanted a bit of levity, huh? Taking a break from all the hustle and bustle, we did get our masquerade ball episode. Yes, that's how you can tell it's a good D&D podcast.
Yes, lots of what's the word? Intrigue,
romance, intrigue.
Mystery. I don't know about romance.
Suspicions, and beautiful, fleeting moments of touching romance.
Ugh.
Seen at the masquerade ball. It is at this masquerade ball that the group meets Abel, a fellow ghost from the afterlife plane of Valhalla. Now, what do we know about Abel?
Okay, so he is the patron of music and performing arts where I come from. He's lower ranked than me, don't worry. And here he is stuck in the body of the Berg, an escaped convict.
Yeah.
So I guess, he wasn't escaped when Abel arrived. Abel arrived in prison and busted out. And now he's traveling with us, and he likes being alive a little too much for Orpheus' taste. A little too into it.
But it actually wasn't even until the end of the night that you guys actually found Abel, for before then, quite a few things happened. First off,
there was a bomb threat.
Orpheus himself got sort of pulled away, right?
Yeah, I fucking ran the bomb. Oh, actually, no. Sorry. First, the president wanted to speak to me. That Rexumir, who is also a ghost from Valhalla, except apparently not a ghost, but one of the masked lords of Waterdeep, who vacations in Valhalla to kill people and be evil. So he was an old enemy of Oro, but now that they're both trapped in Waterdeep, as Valhalla has been sealed off, they have a tentative alliance. Reximir's helping me out with some leads, some places to go to. They're kind of hot in a milfy way.
Whoa. The current theory that Orpheus has right now is that the body of the person that he is inhabiting, Aislinn, or Iceland, whatever,
Bitch,
is in Valhalla, having sort of swapped bodies with Orpheus, and is now sort of speaking into the right ears, if you know what I'm saying.
She's doing something to lead my beautiful queen Rita astray. I don't know what, but I don't like it. Well, and theoretically, our best guess is that we think Iceland is trying to resurrect Riddicy into the material plane.
So Rex Ymir, one of the masked lords of Waterdeep, takes Orpheus for a bit of a ride around town, and in the meantime, the rest of the group, I believe it was Hire actually, our blue kobold friend, discovered that the great chandelier above the masked ballroom was a bomb had been installed inside of it.
Mr. President!
Get down! So with Hire's very insightful noticing of this bomb, chaos was raised in the room as everyone sort of raised the alarm bells. We had Dulam running around, running point for people. Jaya, I think, was in there somewhere. Demos got picked up by an eligible bachelor and went off to sort of disappear for the night, so it was no help.
Broke the virginity pact. Fucking skank.
Boo.
Boo.
Yeah.
And over the last survivors.
After some, what I would like to consider pretty creative parts usage, the group managed to place the bomb, which consisted of about like 500 candles, inside of their bag of holding, and Orpheus, boosted up on roids, arrived just in time to run the bag to the edge of the city, exploding a piece of farmland, but killing no one.
They all hate when a bad bitch starts running.
So with the masquerade ball over and done, the group finally takes a moment to breathe and enjoy the evening, and it's around this time that finally they unmask Abel, Orpheus' friend, who does join the party, a musician.
Yay!
But doesn't know how to play music with these new hands of his, so currently is a fighter.
You should stay that way.
So tragedy strikes the next morning, though, as even though the Runts did a pretty good job, defusing the bomb from the night before, Dr. Him, close friend of Dulam and professor of autognomes, is found dead in the streets.
Wow.
Now, Dulam, though, does put on a pretty excellent detective hat, Orpheus as well, and this Sherlock and Watson pair go around the city doing some pretty excellent investigating.
Make it sound like I'm Watson. Not the case.
Well, I'm more of a Sherlock type.
The group makes their way into several different guard houses, asking the right people the right questions, and finally finding a prisoner, that's not right, hold on. An individual who had been playing in the band the night before at that masquerade ball, a piccolo player. Now, the group interrogates this individual in one of the great wizard's towers of Waterdeep, and does some
Blackstaff Tower.
And does some pretty horrible, like, mental trauma to this guy. This is where Demos' evil magic really came into play here.
Hello? We were so not evil to this guy. We were just trying to help him because his memory had been wiped.
Yeah.
So it sort of scraped out the inside of that brain bowl.
Okay, we were seeing what's left. It was in his best interest,
Got
too.
the spoon in there. It was just went scraping.
Look, we've been evil? That was so not evil. We were doing our best.
Eventually, though, the group accidentally angered the wrong wizard in the Blackstaff Tower, and the prisoner was immediately executed, leaving the mystery open.
Oh, it's to be solved.
To be solved, exactly. Now then, the group has gone back into what is effectively a standard beat around Waterdeep, and was able to sort of follow a few more clues. Orpheus looked into Rex Ymir, the masked lord, and tried to ask about what's happening in Valhalla. As well, Dulam finds the last will and testament of Dr. Him, leaving behind a few more clues. And the date of Monty's revival from the priest grows ever nearer, so the group does need some money, if I'm not mistaken.
We've taken on a job.
Yes, and so right about where we'll leave off is the Lady of Pain, good friend, and who once was a close employer from Surkat, sends a message out to Dulam informing him that Zavrix, the planar wizard of Surkat, is due for execution. More specifically, the group has been hired to kill him.
Bah, bah. No mercy.
That's good.
All right, that brings us up to date. Now, make sure to check in next Monday and listen to episode 31 and also all the episodes that come out after that. You might as well go ahead and follow us on Spotify. That'll make sure you don't miss the episode next Monday. Until then,